It's quite difficult filming this project because one of my principal things is I didn't want to get in the way. I mean, whilst the lads here have been very accommodating in me walking around with a camera, doing some filming and all that sort of fun, asking questions, my level of knowledge of steel building, welding, grinding, all that sort of stuff, where you can write on the back of a fag packet, cigarettes for those in America. So it's something I've got to take up with me when I get the interior boat done. I should have used more lighting, but of course if you get lights up everywhere and it's just, and there's only me doing it, so I've set up this, that and the other, and what I didn't want to do is to get in their way, and I was conscious of that. So I'm also conscious of the fact that some of this video quality isn't as good as I wanted it to be, and that's something I need to progress with, something I need to learn from. I need to do better. This is my space, this is my boat, this is what I'm going to live in for the next so many years, and I don't know how many years it is. So I've planned for the remainder of my life. Whether that materialises, do you know what, that's another issue. Now the cabin sides are on, just a point of reference, I can touch either side of the boat, of the cabin sides. The hull side's a bit different. There's about another 6 inches perhaps up. But here we go. Now the steel work is done, all I've got is steel to look through, and I'm looking from top end, the front to the back. It's 50 foot. That's not a huge amount of space, I might add. You know, you're looking at the cabin sides and you look at it going down, and 50 foot of interior use is bigger than a lot of boats, but it's still not a lot of space. But it's my space, and it's all done. All but the finishing touches now of the steel work is now complete. I can remember reading a story to the children about a lady who was always complaining that she had a small home, and she went to an advisor, let's say, what can I do to make my home look bigger? So he said, buy a dog, buy a rat, buy a cat, whatever it is. So she did, and then she bought another something else until such times as when she went in the house, she couldn't move. Well, how do I make this place bigger? So the bloke says, get rid of all your animals. And then she was quite happy with her space. She was quite happy with a lot. This is quite a big space because it used to be crowded, and now it's empty, and oh, it's great. So I kind of see that concept of now the sides are on and the roof's up and you feel contained. And it looks bleak because it's just steel. And I know it's got to be lined yet. So me touching either side of the cabin sides, still got to get the lining done. So they're going to close in a bit more. Oh, I can visualise myself in here. This is my small, tiny, although not as tiny as some, space. It's coming. I'm not having second thoughts. He says, and I'm not having second thoughts. This, you know, I've ploughed all my heart and soul into saving hard, into sacrificing living in order to get this. And you know, I said in my first vlog, there's no option B because it's happening, and there is no option B because this is my space. This is what I've dreamt of, and it's become reality. All work on the boat is pretty much finished now, and all that's left for it to happen is a bit of painting. So what's going to happen very shortly is John is going to paint the whole boat. Top half is in a 2-pack grey primer, and the bottom half in 2-pack black. to make sure that the steel stays in tip-top condition whilst it's waiting transportation over to the fit-out pontoon. I'm sure life goes on here. There's another boat, the steel has already arrived, there's another boat in process to be built. So yeah, things are moving on really quickly. 5.5 weeks, job done. The boat's been sprayed inside and out because it's going to be moved out of the shed shortly and it's going to be stuck outside in the cold whilst Mark comes to pick it up and do the fit out. But when I was in the boat, one of the things I noticed, I said I've got 50 foot of interior space. Now when you've got the sides up and you've got the roof on, 50 foot doesn't appear to be an awful lot of space. And that made me think, there's some boats that are 50 foot in length anyway. That's the whole boat, 50 foot in length, and I've got 50 foot to play with on the inside. So that got me thinking about the Aintree Beetle, 25 foot. That's 25 foot of end-to-end space. How much living space is there? Ooh. Ooh, that's a bit tiny. That's a proper tiny home. That's more like a caravan on the water. That's probably the reason why I didn't buy a caravan to live in. This has given me quite a lot of space actually. I'm glad I chose a boat. The last little bits are going on. The skeg at the bottom of the boat's gone on. That was quite interesting. The skeg holds the tiller arm at the back, and then the flappy bit, the rudder, that's the fella. The rudder then goes on. The standard swim on a boat, bit of technical data, the standard swim on a boat, which is the back end, is 21 to 22 inches. Now they've just had to make a new flappy rudder. Flappy thing, I need to get that out of my head. They need to make a new rudder because my swim is 24 inches. A couple of inches makes all the difference apparently. It makes a boat sit a bit lower in the water, which means it's a little bit more stable, but they need to put a new rudder on the back. There we go, so I've learned something. Swim generally 21 or 22 inches, this one's 24. There we go.